You know how fall in Ottawa can feel like a roller coaster? One minute it's warm enough for a light jacket, and the next you're pulling on a toque. That back and forth doesn't just mess with us because it can put extra stress on your plumbing too. Every autumn, we see the same kind of issues popping up. So let's go over a few of the big ones to keep an eye on this season. I'm joined today with Curtis, my son and 20-year plumbing expert. So, Curtis, from your experience, what specific plumbing concerns tend to rise the most in Ottawa homes during the fall?
I would say the two things that we see an uptick on would be sump pumps, either people getting ready for the winter months and potential frost and water that we see coming into the houses in the winter months. People prepping with their sump pumps, as well as we do see an uptake of when we do dip below that negative temperature. Sometimes people do leave their garden hoses on, for example. We do see the occasional garden hose burst and water coming out of the outdoor taps. I would say those tend to be some of the bigger items that we run into in the fall months.
Yeah, yeah, I've noticed like people will winterize their outdoor taps, but then they end up leaving the garden hose on, which then causes the same concern.
Exactly. Yeah.
Are these concerns typical, caused by weather changes, homeowners' habits, age of plumbing system?
So both, basically all three of those items could be contributing to it. For example, when somebody is dealing with an outdoor tap, in an older home, they don't have the vacuum breaker that you would normally see, which allows that faucet to drain out and pull air to replace the water, as well as, you know what I mean, either somebody just not knowing of the system they have and how to properly winterize it. So they may have gotten lucky a couple of years in a row, but then they left the garden hose on with pressurized water in it, and that was enough to kind of cause that burst for it.
And do you notice a difference between newer homes or older homes in the fall?
Well, the newer homes tend to come with things like frost-free faucets and more user-friendly items such as that. That being said, the build quality tends to go down a little bit with those newer houses compared to something from the 60s and something that's been around for a while. So we do see the occasional issue with regards to faucets not being installed properly and still holding on to water because of the angle that they're installed in. So it's not the newer homes are not immune to issues that's the older homes will run into, but a little bit less likely for sure.
And which part of the home do you feel that has more should be people should be more concerned about? The bathrooms, the basement, outdoors. Which one should they be more concerned about in the fall?
I would say the two spots to kind of pay attention to would be the fall and sorry the basement and the outdoors. So in the winter time when we start to get the ground freezing a little bit, things like a rainfall with frozen ground can cause the water to go against your foundation and cause water damage in your basement. And then same thing with the outdoor taps, if not winterized properly, can cause some damage. So keeping an eye on the outdoor taps and keeping an eye on the basement would be the two spots I would concentrate on.
And how would you compare fall emergencies to winter emergencies?
Well, fall emergencies, I'd say, are less common because a lot of the issues that you'll run into because of either lack of maintenance or lack of preparation for the fall months will cause you the issues in the wintertime or spring, such as a faucet not being winterized properly may not cause any leaks right off the bat, but when you go to use it, may cause some leaking inside the home.
And how important do you think it is to get like a professional inspection done or maintenance? How do you feel that this plays in spotting concerns earlier before the concern actually happens?
I would say, especially with somebody who's not as familiar with their home, somebody new to their home, just moved in, just got built, and is not familiar with your plumbing system, I'd say that would be a very large advantageous thing to get done. Just simply so that you get familiar with your plumbing system, what to look for by somebody who sees it every day, and even somebody who's just not up to speed with what they got going on in their home can really have a big benefit of that.
And if you had one piece of advice that you would give an Ottawa homeowner, to not have any concerns this fall, what would that one piece of advice be?
The one piece of advice would be the outdoor taps. We see quite a few of those popping up depending on the winter we have. I would say it's a very important thing to before the frost hits, before we start getting below zero, to make sure all your garden hoses have been taken off. And then if you do have a standard just hose bib outside, to make sure to winterize that properly by shutting it off inside and draining it out. That will prevent some very unwanted flooding come springtime.
I also find that the taps that are in the garage, the outdoor taps that are in the garage, see a lot of people leaving the garden hoses there as well.
Exactly.
They think it's in the garage, it's going to be okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah,
another big one.
right on. Well, thank you very much, Curtis. It's been great. Fall always brings its share of plumbing headaches here in Ottawa, but staying ahead of them makes life a whole lot easier once the snow starts flying. And if you do run into something that needs a pro, you can always count on us at Mr. Rooter Plumbing of Ottawa to help out. Just visit us at mrrooter.ca/Ottawa to book your service. And if you found this video helpful, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could use the reminder. Thanks for watching, and catch you on the next one.